That's a deep cut. That hurt. That hurt. Ow. What's up, everyone? So, in the last episode, we put the crank in, and that was about it. Hopefully, in this episode, we get a lot more done. It's going to be weirdly paced because I plan on getting the whole bottom end done, but I forgot a valve gapping or gap tool. So, I don't think I can put the rings in, put the rings on the pistons, and then put the pistons in. So, we're going to try and figure out what more we can do. So, what we are going to do is put the oil pump drive bushing in, the oil pump drive, maybe the cam, put the oil pump gasket in, and oil pump. So, let's get to it. So first we got this little guy, a lot bigger when it's out of the block, and they can't hot take them with this in there because it probably melt it because it's only brass. So, and if they take it out, you might as well get a new one. So let's get it in there. So first you gotta find some way to tap it in. So I found this punch, and I'm going to use the end you're supposed to hit with the hammer because it fits perfectly into the hole of the bushing, and then the rubber part goes around it. So I'm not going to damage the bushing at all. Also, I do have my headband this time, but you guys will probably get a better angle down here. I really should be doing this on like an engine stand or something. That'd be much, much easier. So I was given some great news that the gap is okay, tolerable, looks pretty good. So let's start pulling these pistons apart, changing the bearings and replacing the rings, and start putting them in. All right.
Almost like, what color theme should I be in this room?
Blue, considering that seems to be your favorite color.
So my powder coating video that I'm making, I was like talking about what color I should do on the Cummins as an accent. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna do teal because that's kind of like my theme. Like, I'm like, there's a really pretty orange color that I like, and I thought about getting that, but Matt makes fun of me because he says everything I have is orange, and I kind of like pan towards the toolbox. And I'm like, so I'm gonna go with teal, not because I want to, but because I don't want Matt to make fun of me.
Meanwhile, everything on your vehicles other than the Honda is blue.
That's only the Chevys. I just think a bright color would look cool, and then kind of have like the whole theme.
Grab the
So,
oil.
I don't know if you're familiar with, I think they call them powder kegs. So if there is fine powder in the air, a spark can literally blow it up.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very familiar with those.
So that is, a paint boost isn't just for cleanup, it's for safety. It sucks all the fine particles out of the air so it can't explode.
Yeah, one night I got bored and started watching OSHA safety videos, like on how a sugar plant exploded because of that.
Yeah, sugar plants, grain mills, stuff like that.
Places that work with metal shavings.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude, aluminum is just as explosive as sugar.
Oh,
Like aluminum dust.
I didn't know that.
If you granulate anything into a fine enough powder, it becomes a bomb. So is there any way these are supposed to go in?
The only bearings I've ever done are on that white Honda, and it blew up. I don't know, for FaceTiming.
That was a satisfying pop. Guest star! So I got the last old ring off. It wasn't really that bad. But now to get it on, I'm going to do it off camera so I can figure out a process, and then I might do the rest of them on camera. So all the rings are in. It wasn't actually that bad. So they say you're supposed to put like a hose or something over these so it doesn't mar up the crank when you go to put it in. I'm gonna ignore that, or not ignore, but I don't have the hose right now. See, so it went like this, and in they go. I was told I should probably clean these up. Actually, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, actually, maybe not. If I tip this back, I should be able. Yeah, there we go. Wonderful. All right, let's see how well this cheap ring compressor works.
Yes.
I got fucking tunnel going right to my garden. And I got another up mill just south of that. And then I got one going right to my flower bed right next to my garage. Now I know you're supposed to like use a piece of wood or something, but if I'm careful enough. Oh crap, no! How are you supposed to keep these straight going in? I'm gonna get a rag or something to cushion that. Rag acquired. So I found out that after several attempts, this cheap spring compressor is crap, because it gets as far as the second ring, and it just slips. It slips back and it doesn't compress it. So now I got to figure out what to do next. But at least for today, let's see. I've had the oil pump drive bushing in the freezer, so let's see if it's shrunken enough to get in the hole. So I'm gonna tap out for today because the ring compressor is crap, and I wasn't really prepared for everything that was gonna happen. So now I have a game plan, and hopefully when I come back tomorrow, we get a lot more done. All right, Dodge Shop team, today it's day 2 of putting the pistons in, and now that I know what to expect from this, it is time to lock in. And the plan is to replace all the bearings and all the rings on these, and then see if we can get them into the block. 2 things on the compressors. I'm borrowing a compressor from one local shop, the top one, and then the other one, I discovered there's a zip tie on it that might be causing the issue of it not wanting to squeeze them right. So hopefully one of them can help us get the job done. So let's get to it. All right, so what's the first one we got here? Number 8. So first, kind of already got this down to a science-ish. This one comes out super easy. Now these other ones are a bit more difficult. There we go. Once you do that, they kind of just peel off. Still got to do a bit of prying. Ow! Oh, that's a deep cut. That hurt. That hurt. Ow. Well, it doesn't really hurt much anymore. The bleeding's not slowing down. Owie. I suppose I can try doing it like this. Ow. Ow. I still have 6 more pistons to go. Sounds like Steve's home. So I'm going to power through the pain and the blood and get this done because he wants this out of here ASAP.
I enjoy the company.
All right, there's all the rings off. Now to put the new ones on. First, where's the... Here we go. Let's start with these because this is the easiest to put on. I don't think it matters if these are like an up or down. Blah, blah, blah. Then 2 of these. I don't know how you're supposed to put rings on properly, but I think this is how you do it.
Extensive or expensive?
Extensive.
Same. I never took the motor out of the frame though, or out of the bag.
Now, top must face top.
So I figured I was trying to get along.
Woo! Woo! I almost stabbed myself.
Don't do that again, Spencer.
No, I cut myself the last time. There's a difference.
It still hurts. It goes owie, bleed, drip, 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 owie.
There we go. Go on the bottom one. You will be a bottom and you will like it. Which I kind of also burned a little bit. I had ketchup, mustard, and relish. So you can imagine that all those things did not combine too well. Yes! So number 8 can probably go down. That's pretty good, but change the font to something a bit more dramatic. Oh wait, I need to do the bearing.
You need to do the bearing.
I know I need to do the bearing. So we spin these off.
Is that dramatic enough?
I was thinking something more like blocky. No, like something more blocky. Trying to stab myself.
How about that?
This is the paid version, right? So you got all the fonts?
Yes, but half my screen doesn't work. You'd have to go back to, you'd have to click on it.
Oh. So I just got the bearing out of it. Here's a better look at what this one looks like. That's a lot of copper. But luckily we got brand new ones. Okay, so this one goes here. And should just pop right in there like so. All right. All right, now one piston is done. All right, be very careful. Now I'm actually scared. Be very, very careful. Man, every time I get like nudged on that area of my finger, it scares me because I don't want to open that wound back up. All right, now put them back on. Oh, that one actually went in a lot easier. Hopefully this one goes in just as easy. All right. Oh, forgot the bearings on this one again. So I pretty much got it down to a science now. First, I go for the top rings. You got to find the gap. The gap. All right. Then you go a little bit off center. You make sure you push it as far from the back as far as you can forward, so you can get a screwdriver in there. Pry it out, pop it up, bring it to the top. Pop and lock it. Now make sure you hold it there so it's above the piston, and then you start going around, and you just kind of wiggle it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Happy ride.
Not yet. And then, as you wiggle it out, you'll start to feel it coming out, and at that point, you just twist it out, and you throw it in your pile. Then, do it again with the second one. You might need to wiggle the screwdriver a bit to get in there, but come on. There we go. Pop and lock it. Now the second one's going to be a little bit more difficult because you're trying to bend it up a little bit more, but it's the same process. You'll start to feel it go, and then once it does, it'll do the same thing. Now for the, I think that's the scraper ring, you got to get a pick. If you don't have one, I don't know what you do, probably a really small screwdriver, but a pick is really useful with this. You get in there, and then you go about 2 or 3 notches on the up and down ring. Same thing also on this one. You push it from the back to get it as far forward as you can. And if you can't grab on it through the gap, sometimes also you can get it from the gap in the ring itself. Might need a bit of adjusting, or go to the other side. It's like picking a lock, I've noticed. It might fight you a little bit, but if you get it just, come on, cooperate, I'm trying to make a video. All right, well, let's go to the top one then, which the gap for that one is up here. Just go up here. Yeah, that's much better. All right, so as you saw, I just pulled up and out. You want to bring it all the way to the top. Luckily, these are much more flexible, and these sometimes you can just peel right off without having to pry around. And now with that top one off, it's a lot more loose and pliable. So then, now this one is probably going to catch on the actual scraper itself, so it's going pretty good. And then if you want to do it pretty quickly too, just grab it and, because you shouldn't be reusing these, so it doesn't matter if you damage them or not. And then the actual up and down one, super bendable, that just comes right out. Now with all your rings out, grab your new one, and it's as simple as finding where it is, where the gap is, stick it the end in there, and then you spread it out and it just falls right in place. Stop walking through my mess, dog. All right, now, and it's the same thing with the scraper rings. Get your end in there, and then you just pry it back a bit. It starts to fall into place, and just like that, top one's in. Now the bottom one, now that you've got that top one in, is going to be a bit stiffer, but as long as you hold it in place and do the same thing, it pretty much goes where it's supposed to. Yeah. Yep, just like that. All pops into place. Now, another thing too, when you go to put this in, make sure these do not line up. In fact, probably spin this one around to the other side, so then it doesn't have a direct blow by. You're supposed to have a little bit, but if you line up all your gaps, that's how you lose pretty much all compression, from what I understand. Got your main rings. Make sure top is on top. I don't know if you can see that. Then, now these are going to be a little bit more difficult because they're a lot stiffer. So you gotta have a lot of finger strength. But, success. As you saw, I did the same thing. I put one end in here and just pried it and worked its way around. Luckily it's near the top, so you don't have to bend it as far, because these do not like to bend. So this one, a little bit offset bend. Put one end in and pry it. The first end should fall right in place, and then so does your second side. Just like that, your rings are on now for your bearings, which those are super easy, but I'll show you anyway. Now the system I have, a lot of the older folks that watch my video might cringe at this, but you just find your little oil galley there, and I like to give it, or press in there. Just pops right out. And the reason why I say it might cringe is because they'll probably say, "Oh, you're scratching the bearing or the bearing surface," which that might be the case, but I can't feel a scratch in there, so I think the surface is still fine. Grab our new seal power bearings. I think I've got a small cut on my thumb there. Pop that bad boy in. Then pop this bad boy in. Line it up just by bumping it over with the screwdriver handle. Just like that. Now, I don't know how you're really supposed to line these up, but I put that hole with that hole. Ooh, that's way crooked. There we go. Boom. And then just so we don't lose them, just thread these on a little bit. Now, that one's all done. And this is piston number uno. So, I will knock out this last one, and then we'll flip the block up and see if we can get them in. All right, now with all the pistons done, we're gonna flip this up and see if we can get them in there with one of the two ring compressors. So, just like so. Not as heavy when there's nothing in the block. And this one, yeah, that one's still a bit, that one's still lubed up. So before we go for this one, I want to see if mine works now that we made the slight modification of removing the zip tie. All right, we're cylinder 2. Cylinder 2 reporting for duty. Yeah, I think this was 2. Ow. Okay, and then the runs go like this, so it goes in like so. I gotta tip it back and turn the crank. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna grab a hammer to use for the handle. Hammer acquired. Now let's see. What? I think removing the zip tie made it worse. Oh, that's going in much better. Never mind. Same issue. Unless, can I reapply it? No, this thing just doesn't work. All right, cool. All right, now we gotta figure out how to use this one. So got it on here, and before I do this, I'm gonna check and see, make sure all the rings don't line up. Okay, that one's there, that one's there. Okay, that gap's there. And this gap is here. Sweet, all right. They don't. All right, let's finish putting this on then. And see where this takes us. Okay, now we take our trusty hammer and just start tapping it in. Okay, going so far so good. Oh. It works! Awesome! That's wonderful. I love that. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Now I just gotta lube it up really good. And start putting everything together. All right. So now that we know we can get all the pistons in, let's knead this up and shake it up. And get plenty of lube on everything. Okay, enough of that on there. Yeah, maybe do that a bit more. Then we'll do the rest of these. Yeah, that feels nice and slick. Make sure this one's all well and good too. All right. Looking pretty slick if I do say so myself. So let's spin this back around and start putting the pistons in. Once again, up. Ooh. A little too much up. And just to be sure, let's put some of the assembly lube on the bearing caps too, because those feel really frictiony. I'm not really liking that. I feel like we should torque them down and see what they do. Because maybe this is where it comes in, where it's like really hard to turn. So I'm gonna do a quick Google search and see what the torque specs are supposed to be on these. So So I discovered it's 45 pounds. So I've got the torque wrench here with a few extensions. I know you're not really supposed to use extensions. Matter of fact, I could probably get rid of a couple of these. Man, I hope these bearings aren't too thick. Okay, let's lay this down and see how it feels. Oh, that's like butter. Okay, I have nothing to worry about. It does get a little bit of friction because the cylinder itself, I didn't lube it all up all that well. Man, that turns so easily. Well, let's get the rest of them in. Let's get the lube and lube up the cylinder really well. Now we grab the piston. Now this time, now that I'm thinking of it, with everything out, I'm gonna lube both. Here we go. I'm gonna lube up both ends, just so it's nice and slick. All right, now let's put this one in. With the one like this and the arrow facing upwards, I know it went in like this. Should probably check where the rings are on this too. All right, all the rings are where I want them. Get the ring compressor on. Nice! Tap it in the rest of the way. Oh wait, did that mess up the bearing? Now let's get our bearing cap. Put the hardware back on and torque these all down. Nice, 6 more. the cylinders lubed up. Let's start doing the rods and start putting those in. So I think we're gonna call that a wrap. There's still 3 cylinders that need to go in. I'm not gonna record that because you guys saw all the other 7. Quick math, I'm not very good at math. But it looks exactly the same. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay it down, let the cylinder soak in oil because it's binding up and not turning. I think that's because I'm fighting against 5 not so very well lubricated cylinders. So I think once I get some oil soaked in there in the cylinder walls and all that, should spin over a lot easier, and then I can put those last 3 in, because the main reason is because these journals are not in good spots, and the bottoms of the rods are hitting the sides of the block. But you guys don't need to see all that. So with that, if you like the video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And stick around, watch the playlist, and see where the charger came from, where it is now, and where it's gonna go. So remember, don't scrap them, save them.